Today we're going to be fitting the sink hob unit into this worktop. You need to mark out and cut round the template and then place it on the worktop. Do a template on the box. Now you'll notice that they give you a dashed line. Now these sections here, they need to be routed down because they're your fixing points for the unit. Now don't make the mistake that I've done in the past, which is cut round on this line and then you go to put your unit in and you haven't got the fixing points. So drawn around it. Now you've marked these recess points. Now it's really key that you follow this line here for your cutout, not this outside line. I've drilled a hole next to my cut line. I'm going to be using a jigsaw. I would use a router, but I haven't got a bit suitable. Excuse the heater that's blowing in the background. Good point to have a mouthful of tea. Cut out done. It took a while, as you can see the jigsaw kind of burnt around the tight curves. I guess that's because it's a hardwood. Right, so I've run the router round. Not the neatest bit of routing in the world, but okay, she's in. Right, you can see the bits that have been routed down, which are lower, and they provide the fixing point with the self. I paid a bit extra and bought the kit with everything in it. As you can see, it's got the gas pipe, water pipe, drainer, I think that comes with the standards, and some copper pipe if you wanted to go down that route. In the pack you get a rubber trim like this. With your trim, obviously there's going to be a joint in it. Now I have put these at the back before because that's away from the washing up wet area, but you can do. Your jing's gone right round. Now what I normally do, well I've done these in the past, is cut this too short so you end up with a blinking gap. So what I'd say is cut it a little bit long and then squeeze it in. Like slow. Just see the joint there, look. There's a good opportunity while everything's out is to add the waste for the sink and the tap. Even attach the gas pipe, makes it easier than scrambling around inside the cupboard. When fitting the trap for the sink, well it's not really a trap, but you know what I mean, it comes with a little rubber O-ring washer. Now I've pushed that in from underneath and then this will fit below it and then the metal section above it, and then the screw will pull it all together. Now I can't find anything in the instructions about this, so you know, do it the way you want to do it, but I feel that this works quite well. Now I wouldn't go giving it 80 Newton meters of force on that screw because it's only into plastic and it will probably snap. So I just want to nip it up. There's no real water pressure, so that would be an adequate seal for that job. Right, I'm going to secure the unit in now. And in your kit, a bit bag of fittings like this, fixings. There's a screw, it goes through those little cups, and then it's capped with that rubber top, which stops the glass impacting on the metal. Need a PZ1 for the fixing screws, which is this small ended Phillips. There's the screws there, look. So you can see it's got the cup, the screw, and then the cap is the rubber, and they fix down in those sections there. Then they're all fixed in, right the way around the outside, and that's pulled that gasket down onto the timber as well, which has formed a bit of a seal. Okay, fitting a tap. Now be presented with a few washers. Now I can't see a definitive answer of where these go, so I've gone with this small washer going straight onto the tap thread. Then you've got this plastic washer and a small rubber O-ring, And if you look in the bottom of the plastic, there's a lip, and that sits in there. That will then sit over the cable onto the thread and then fit on this top edge. And then from underneath you've got the rubber washer that'll slip on, and then there's a nut to pinch it all up. So I'll get that all on now. Right, so there is the tap on, and you can see the plastic washer underneath with the rubber underneath that. So the tap folds down out of the way, there's the lid, turn it over, and there's the big rubber washer and the nut there. Right, that's the waste pipe fitted. Now there isn't a Jubilee clip in the kit for this, but it kind of winds on the thread of the pipe and the thread of the trap, and I've tugged and tugged and it doesn't pull off. So if I've got a Jubilee clip I would add one, but I don't think it's necessary really. As I said, my kit comes with the water pipe, waste pipe and all the fixtures and fittings. Now this water pipe is quite thick, so when it's cold it was quite hard to get over that. In a previous one I snapped this, so be warned, they're quite fragile. So on this I've heated it up, make it a bit soft, and then I can put it over there and then secure it with the Jubilee clip. Okay, really on the last bit now. Now this blue thing here is the submergible pump. Now that drops into your freshwater container and is connected to the blue pipe on that port there. Now when the switch in the tap is activated, power is, or the circuit's completed to this pump, and it will fire up and then pump the water. Obviously when you want the tap off, switch it off. Now the wiring for this is pretty straightforward. You'll have a plus and a minus. Now I'm going to run that to my fuse board, and then the pump will require a plus and a minus, but if you were to wire that straight to that cable it will just run the whole time. So you run the plus and minus up to it, the positive onto the pump, and the negative goes via the switch. So you bring your negative into this side of the switch, and then coming out this side of the switch goes to your pump, and that forms the circuit or not. Obviously the gas is to be connected, but I'll leave that to you guys to work out how you're going to. Right, so all the cables are joined. This is the main feed up from a fused supply. Now as you can see, the positive runs round to the pump, the negative runs into the switch and then back out of the switch and into the pump. Now in the past I have put a switch in line on the positive as well, just to know that you isolate it completely, but in this instance I'm just going to leave it like that. But it is crucial that you fuse any power, because if you have a short then you're into problems. But just going to put some ducting and some cable ties around this, and then it's ready to go in. Just run some split plastic conduit just to cover the cable. It goes round. There's the feed off to the fuse board, and then the pump is cable tied to that cable, and that will drop into your water container.